Our environment, a science lesson for 5th standard, and please open your books on page 179. Now, you know what the term environment means. It means the surroundings around you. And we all are living in a wonderful environment, with the beach also very close to our place. Now let's get started. First one, what are some of the most serious environment problems? One is pollution and next is waste disposal. Right now, waste disposal is the biggest problem faced by all over the world, the people all over the world. 2, have you noticed any environment problems in your house, neighborhood or school? What are they? Yes, we have air pollution and the problem of waste disposal. The natural surroundings in which living things grow, develop and survive make up the environment. The environment is made up of both living and non-living things. Thus, the environment includes plants, animals, land, water and air. So, where we live in, and that is the environment, and the environment includes the living and the non-living things. However, human activities such as cutting down of trees, hunting animals and making the surroundings dirty harm the environment. So all these activities, like we cut down trees, we kill animals and we throw the garbage wherever we like, makes the environment dirty and filthy. One of the most harmful effects of human activity is environmental pollution. Now, the most worst thing that we can do is pollute the environment. Now, what is pollution?
Soil pollution. Soil is the upper layer of the Earth's surface. Just like all the other parts of our environment, soil too is getting polluted to a great extent. Making the soil dirty by addition of substances called pollutants is called soil pollution. Many human and natural activities result in soil pollution. Dumping of household waste like plastics, glass and thermocol in the soil results in soil pollution. Such wastes do not break down and never become part of the soil. Similarly, chemical substances like pesticides and fertilizers that are used in agriculture to increase crop yield also pollute the soil. Such chemicals make their way into the deeper layers of the soil and affect the soil quality. Chemical wastes from industries also mix with the soil and pollute it. When the trees and plants growing on it are cut to obtain land for construction of roads and buildings, the top layer of the soil is uncovered. The barren land is exposed to wind and flowing water, which wash away the soil, causing soil erosion. The effects of soil pollution are very serious. Crops grown in polluted soils carry toxic substances and metals like lead and arsenic, which gradually find their way in the human body. Such substances can damage the organs and even cause cancer. Solid wastes like plastic and glass crowd the soil. Animals sometimes ingest plastic waste accidentally or thinking it as food. Many animals die due to this reason. These harmful substances gradually reach the groundwater under the soil and make the water unsuitable for human use. It is very clear that soil pollution is very harmful and steps should be taken to reduce it. Wastes like plastics and glass should not be dumped into the soil. use of articles that are eco-friendly should be encouraged. Use of harmful pesticides and insecticides in agricultural fields must be discouraged. Plants and trees should be grown on empty pieces of land to prevent soil erosion. We all too can help by segregating waste before disposing it. Water pollution. Water is one of the most valuable resources provided to us by nature. We use water for so many purposes, and while doing so, we also make water very dirty. Making the water dirty by the addition of substances called pollutants is called water pollution. Let us try to learn more about water pollution and how we can reduce it. Many human and natural activities result in water pollution. Dumping garbage into water bodies is a common cause. Washing clothes, utensils, and bathing animals add dirt and detergents to the water and cause pollution. Untreated waste from factories and sewage from residential areas add toxic chemicals and waste into the water bodies. Water that is washed off from agricultural fields contains large amounts of pesticides and fertilizers that pollute the water of the nearby water bodies. Accidental spillage of oil from oil mining machines into the sea and oil-carrying ships is a growing cause of water pollution in the present times. On January 28, 2017, two cargo ships collided off the coast in Chennai, causing a massive oil spill into the sea. This caused a lot of damage to the aquatic plants and animals. Drinking polluted water can cause diseases like typhoid, cholera, and diarrhea. Metals like lead, mercury, and arsenic present in polluted water enter the bodies of aquatic organisms like fishes. When humans drink this water or eat the organisms living in such polluted waters, there is a high risk of lead and mercury poisoning. Arsenic poisoning causes black patches on the skin, and prolonged exposure can even cause cancer. Addition of waste and toxic chemicals to water also raises the temperature of water by many degrees. Rise in temperature alters the life cycle of many aquatic organisms and can even kill the plants and animals living in water. Water pollution has serious effects on us and our environment. So, what can be done to reduce it? One very easy way is to educate people to stop dumping garbage, washing clothes, and bathing animals in water bodies like lakes and rivers. Waste from industries and residential areas should be treated and made free from harmful substances before being discharged into water bodies. Use of harmful pesticides and insecticides in agricultural fields must be discouraged. We too should do our duty and avoid wastage of clean water. Air pollution. We are all aware about the extent of pollution in our environment in the present times. Proper understanding of how pollution occurs and affects all the living things can help us deal with the problem of pollution in a better way. Air pollution can be defined as the addition of harmful substances called pollutants to the air. Let us see how the air gets polluted. A large number of industries work round the clock to produce things we use every day. This results in the release of a lot of smoke and harmful gases like sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, and hydrogen sulfide into the air. A huge number of motor vehicles, including trucks, buses, cars, and bikes, are used by us to travel and transport goods. These vehicles burn petrol and diesel and release toxic gases and chemicals into the air. Burning crackers, burning wood and coal to cook food, and burning of garbage are other activities that release lot of smoke and pollutants into the air. Another growing cause of air pollution is the extensive cutting of trees to obtain land for agriculture and building houses. Trees absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen into the air, and with the loss of trees, amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is rapidly increasing. Air pollution is very harmful for all living things, including us. It causes irritation and damages the eyes and the skin. It causes respiratory diseases like asthma, bronchitis, and pneumonia. Long-term exposure to polluted air can also damage the brain, lungs, heart, and kidneys. Did you know that the thick layer of fog common in the winter season is often a result of combination of smoke and fog? This layer is called smog, and it causes breathing problems in children and elderly people. So how do we deal with air pollution, which we know is so dangerous? There are several ways by which we can reduce air pollution. For a start, we can walk or use a bicycle to travel to nearby places. This will help reduce the use of motor vehicles which cause pollution. Use of eco-friendly fuels like CNG that cause less pollution should be encouraged instead of petrol and diesel. Use of fuels like LPG and biogas that do not produce smoke and harmful gases should be used for cooking and heating purposes. Factories should be located far away from populated areas, and gases coming out from their chimneys should be treated before being released into the atmosphere. More and more trees should be planted, as they will help to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide in the air. We should all do our bit to prevent and reduce air pollution.
The process of making air, water and soil dirty by adding harmful substances is called pollution. Now, if we throw all the waste bottles into the sea, we are polluting the water. If we throw the garbage into the drain or into the river, we are polluting the river. So that is called pollution. The harmful substances that are added are called pollutants. Pollution is mainly of four types: air, water, land or soil, and noise pollution. So here, air, when smoke is let out into the air, that is air pollution. Water pollution, by throwing all your dirty things into the water, the wastewater coming out from factories let into the rivers or streams, that is also water pollution. Then land pollution, by throwing all the plastic wrappers and bags and baggages around, you're polluting the land. And soil pollution, by cutting down trees, by throwing toxic substances into the ground that makes the soil infertile, so that is soil pollution. And noise pollution, when you play music too loud, when you put the speakers in the house too loud and everyone is not interested to hear, you're causing noise pollution. When the car honks loudly near hospitals, that is causing a lot of disturbance to the patients who are there in the hospital. Air pollution is mainly caused by burning of fuels such as petrol, diesel, coal and wood. Smoke released from motor vehicles and factories contain harmful substances which pollute the air. As I told you, when all the vehicles move on the road, the fuel is being burnt, and that of course releases harmful gases into the atmosphere, causing air pollution. Sewage and harmful waste from factories are released into water sources, causing water pollution. Now, this factories, they release a lot of dirty water containing a lot of toxic substances and chemicals, and that is let out into the seas and oceans, and that, when it reaches the seas and oceans, causes a lot of loss of life to aquatic animals. The fish die when they breathe in this water, or when they start living in this dirty water. So that causes a loss of life in the sea. And then pesticides and chemical fertilizers from fields flow into the rivers and seas and pollute them. So even these chemicals are made, and factories where these chemicals are made, they release all the waste into the rivers and canals and oceans, and this again causes pollution there, and many living creatures in the sea and oceans are killed. A major cause of land pollution is dumping of solid waste from industries and households. In many parts of Calicut itself, you can see many people come and throw their garbage tied in plastic covers in one particular spot, and there pollution begins. So that land gets polluted, and that is how land pollution begins. Noise pollution is caused by loud and continuous sound. Continuous honking of horns or unchecked use of loudspeakers can cause noise pollution. That is why near hospitals you have a board not to honk or blow the horn of your car or vehicle loudly, because it will disturb the patients in the hospitals. Now, coming to the effects of pollution. Pollution is unhealthy and has long-lasting effects on plants, animals and the environment. Some of the effects of pollution are listed below. Breathing in polluted air can cause respiratory diseases and breathing difficulties. So if we are going to breathe the polluted air, we are going to have respiratory issues. Breathlessness, we get suffocated. Suppose you lock yourself in a room where you light some paper and there's smoke all around. Can you breathe? No, you get suffocated because there's less oxygen and more carbon dioxide. You get suffocated and you start, breathlessness. You're breathing very rapidly because you want fresh air and oxygen. The same thing happens when fires are burnt, when smoke is let out from vehicles, the air gets polluted and people develop respiratory problems. Air pollution can lead to unnatural rise in the Earth's temperature. This is harmful for all living beings. Now, this air pollution also raises the temperature of the Earth, and this rising of the Earth's temperature is not very good for everyone, even animals too. Harmful gases in the air sometimes combine with water vapor and form acid, causing acid rain. Acid rain damages plants, animals and buildings. Now, there are some gases like nitrous oxide and nitrogen dioxide and nitric oxide that combine with the water vapor in the atmosphere and fall down as acid rain. And this acid rain is very harmful for us as well as for our skin. We may get blisters or some diseases also, skin diseases may occur. Polluted water can cause waterborne diseases such as cholera and typhoid. Now, if the water is polluted, there are many germs carried in this water. That is, like germs of cholera and germs of typhoid live in this polluted water and can be transmitted to humans. Plants do not grow well in polluted soil. Again, when the soil is polluted with chemicals and insecticides and pesticides, what happens is these plants do not grow well. They are not healthy. And the last one, noise pollution can cause sleep disorders and sometimes loss of hearing. If you are in the habit of using headphones for a very long time and with the maximum volume, what happens is you will rupture the tympanic membrane of the ear. And then what happens? You will have loss of hearing. So noise pollution is very harmful to our natural environment is an important resource. It must be preserved and protected. Air pollution can be prevented by using non-polluting fuels such as CNG, compressed natural gas. Now, when you burn firewood, the smoke is released which causes air pollution. So, in order to stop that, we can use gas cylinders that has liquefied gas, and that is CNG. It is good to walk or use bicycles for small distances. Instead of taking your car and scooter and going for a short distance, better to use the cycle or go walking if possible. Factories and industries should be located away from main cities. Garbage and sewage should not be dumped in water bodies or on land. So again, factories must be very far away from the main cities so that the garbage and the waste can be disposed of in a different place, in a different manner. And even the sewage and garbage should not be dumped into the water bodies like lakes or rivers or canals, or neither on the land. There should be different places far away from the city where this garbage and waste should be disposed of in a very safe manner, safe method. Thank you. With this I come to the end of the first part of the lesson.